The next guy on our list is running back Kendall Milton. So here is his spider chart. He is 6'1", which is 95th percentile for height, 225 pounds, which is 81st percentile weight. He had a 26th percentile 40-yard dash, but he did have an 86th percentile 10-yard split. So quick to top speed, and then maybe not the best top speed overall. He had an 83rd percentile broad jump, and overall he has an 8.07 relative athletic score. Across his 4 years at Georgia, he rushed for 1,839 yards and 23 touchdowns. However, he only played 514 snaps in those 4 years, and he has a laundry list of injury concerns. He's had hamstring injuries that he's dealt with throughout seasons, throughout training camps. He's had a groin injury. He's had multiple MCL sprains, and so he does have a bit of an injury-prone label from people. He was never able to sustain a high workload at Georgia. In 2023, he had 99 carries for 644 yards and 10 touchdowns. So, I mean, a touchdown every 10 carries is pretty impressive. He had 4.12 yards after contact per attempt, and he forced 25 missed tackles. And again, that's on 99 carries, 25 missed tackles forced. And he had 22 runs over 10 yards out of the 99. So those are really good numbers. He also had 24 pass blocking snaps, and he allowed 0 pressures. So he's a guy that looked good in really small volume. You know, what volume is there in the Eagles offense? Will he be able to stick? Those are questions I don't know the answer to. But Johnny, what did you see? What kind of stuck out to you when you went to the film for Milton?
Yeah, this was the one that I watched the most film on because guess what? He's a running back, so I enjoy watching running backs, as we know by now. I really like him. And I say really like him again. Really like him for an undrafted free agent. I think he's the perfect kind of UDFA you want to sign. Very different profile to the Eagles backs. So height, weight, big guy, like very big, like hand size, arm length, weight, like just wingspan. He's just big, and Gainwell and Shipley are not. So I think as a running back 4, he fits the profile of someone different. You mentioned the reason why he went undrafted. It's injuries largely, so I won't go into that. He's not creative. So as a drafted free agent running back, he's not someone that's going to like create yards that aren't there. He's not going to someone that's going to like wiggle behind the line of scrimmage and make defensive tackles missed and suddenly like create something out of nothing. He's much more like a get what is blocked guy, but he has value for that. He's never going to be a starting running back. The elusiveness isn't there. The footwork isn't there. But despite saying all this, he's a little stiff. However, he's big. He's physical. He has really good contact balance, and he lowers his shoulder, and he has really good vision. Like that's sometimes what you need from a running back. Like, yes, he's upright. Yes, he's a little slow to turn. Yes, he's a little sluggish, but he will get what's blocked. Guess what? I'm going to say he enjoys outside zone, which is something we speak about a lot on this podcast since Kellen Moore was hired as OC. You can do worse for a UDFA. If he has to play, he'll get what's there. And the Eagles do have a big physical back in Saquon Barkley, but you also don't want Saquon Barkley maybe charging into defenders every single play. You don't want to run him down on 3rd and 1 all the time. If you want to bring in someone different that's not Gainwell or Shipley and just literally let him do his thing, I think Milton makes a lot of sense as a full running back on a team. I imagine he's got good special teams traits as well. I did not watch him on special teams, but again, he's big, he's physical, good contact balance, explosive. So I would be quite surprised if he isn't able to contribute on special teams. He also looks like someone who will be really good at gap scheme stuff. So if the Eagles do want to blend Kellen Moore with more of Stoutland stuff, they want to run some power, they want to run some counter. I think he can sort of do everything. So like, why the hell not? I see like a not very creative, quite a stiff runner, but someone who can basically get what's blocked for you and can do it with a bit of physicality and a bit of strength. There is a really nice clip, Shane, that I sent you, which sort of sums him up. If I could show like one clip that I like that sort of gives you an idea of the traits. I think the one I sent you is the one I'm about to talk about, so hopefully it is. It's a rep of outside zone, and you can see how quickly he cuts it back. Yes, it is a giant hole, but still, running back sometimes don't spot it. But you could also see like he's a little stiff. There's no great like explosiveness there. You can also see he's a big guy. You mentioned the 10-yard split and then the slow down. Like the first 5 yards, he's pretty quick, and then he looks like he's stuck in the mud a little bit. So he's not going to take like 25, 30-yard runs. But, you know, sometimes you don't need that. If you can read outside zone, if you can find the cutback lane, if you can pick up 8-9 yards, he's not going to be Saquon Barkley. He's not going to be a starting running back in this league. But you know what? For a fourth running back, you could do a lot worse. And I think the Eagles potentially have a need at fourth running back. You might be able to stash him on the practice squad. increase, sort of promote him to the roster if someone gets hurt. And I do think he's different to the backs they've got already. So yeah, I liked him. I think he's a fun watch, even if he's not explosive. He's not a limited touches player. Someone that's going to take a 5-yard carry and turn it into a huge play. He's much more of your sort of steady, good vision, good physicality, good contact balance. And yeah, if you look on his highlights on YouTube, there's a couple of fun runs where he runs over guys. You showed the statistics. He can definitely break tackles as well. So as far as UDFA's running backs go, I think he is a pretty decent shot to at least make the practice squad, and hopefully, just because I like running backs, make the running back as their 4th running back as well.